Shalom Aleichem, a good night of Shabbos, Pashas Lech Lecha. There's a word in Hayoim Yoim. The Rebbe writes, Pashas Lech Lecha lebt min jeden Tag mit Avram Avinu. And therefore it's a freiliche Woche. Each day we live with Avram Avinu, therefore it's a happy week. Happiness is relative. The Torah teaches us the way to be happy, and we spoke about this quite a bit during the Yom Tovim. I heard a story during Yom Tov with the Klausenburger Rebbe's close chassid, Rav Moshe Weiss, Olav Sholem, and the Rebbe. And I want to share that with you. I'll go upon him briefly. So, the Klausenburger Rebbe called him once in and said that the Moshe's institutions need funds, and he needs them desperately to go travel around the world to raise money. So he went to, I believe, Belgium or England. The person didn't know. I think it was Belgium. Anyway, and he's told that there is this wealthy person who gives tzedakah every 2 weeks. When he came, it was another week and a half for him to have to wait to be able to see the gentleman. He didn't have the time. He had a limited amount of time there. So he decided just to go there and schmooze with him, because he heard that somehow his ancestors came from a certain city that he came from as well. So he had what to talk about. He comes into his house, and he wasn't a religious person. He was Jewish, but not religious. He comes into his house, and he sees a big picture of the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, hanging on the wall. So right away he says, "My high, what connection do you have to Lubavitcher Rebbe?" He says, "I'll tell you the story. The story is, one day I got a letter in the mail from a rabbi. I had no idea who the rabbi is, and it says that you're a businessman and you travel to Munich, I believe, once a month to do business there. Nearby, in another city, there's a cemetery, and the Jewish kvarim, graves, with the non-Jewish kvarim are mixed together. And it's not appropriate, and I'd like you to please see about putting up a fence there separating the two sections." So he took the letter, he tore it up, he says, "I don't know who this rabbi is, I don't have time for this, I'm not interested," he threw it in the garbage. A month went by, and he got another letter with the same request, but in this letter, the Rebbe wrote, this is the way the story was told to me, by Rav Moshe Weiss's brother-in-law. He writes in the letter that this time, that if you do this, you'll get half of my olam haba. I mean, I frankly have a hard time. I haven't seen the letter, believing that type of language. The Rebbe usually didn't say that, but that's the way the story came to me. I'm sharing it with you. Again, it meant nothing to him. He doesn't know what olam haba is. He didn't know anything. He was not religious. He was non-learned. So he tears it up and he throws it into his garbage, or so he thought. What happened was, you'll hear a little later. When he was there the next time in Munich, the business person that he dealt with and who sold to him merchandise left a message with the secretary that when he comes, tell him please to wait a few days, because I'm out of town. I had a family funeral, and I'm not there, and really, please wait. And I bought him tickets to go to the opera and to go here, and to put him up at a hotel and wining and dining him, but let him wait for me. He says, "Thank you very much, but I'll stay at the hotel. I've already seen the Glicken, as we say in Yiddish, the great sights of Munich, I've done that sightseeing." And he just stayed there and he did his business. He came into the hotel room and he opens up to sit down to start doing some work, his attaché case, his briefcase, and lo and behold, he sees the letter of the Rebbe. He said, "Wait a minute, I tore that up, this letter, a month ago or so, and it went into the garbage can." Well, mistakenly, the garbage can is under the desk, and right next to it was an open briefcase, his briefcase. So instead of going to the garbage can, it went into the briefcase. So he took a look at it. He takes a look at it, and he sees again what the rabbi wants, and he says, "I have time. I have 2-3 days till the person who I do business with comes back. I'll do it." And he went down there. He paid for it. Was the only way to get there, and and he saw indeed that there was a mixing of Jews and non-Jews, and something just said, I'm going to pay for it. And he was a wealthy man, and he took care of it. He came back out of curiosity. He wanted to know, who's this rabbi? So he said, where's there a rabbi near me? In Belgium, wherever you live. And they said, there's a Chabad rabbi. He doesn't know what Chabad is, a rabbi. So he went to speak to him. And he tells him the story. When the Chabad Shliach heard the story, that the Rebbe said, I'll give you half of my Olam Haba, he almost fell off his chair. And he said, you know what that means? He says, no, I have no idea what it means. So he says, can I teach you? Can I talk to you? He says, sure. And he became a Baal Teshuvah. He started to learn and became a Baal Teshuvah. Rav Moshe Weiss was sitting there. He almost fell off the chair. And he says to him, it's a fantastic story, that the Lubavitcher Rebbe is thinking about this gravesite there. But guess who buried those people there after the Holocaust? I and the Klausenburger Rebbe. Because a day after the liberation, they went around, they went to the American soldiers and they got a truck, and there's a whole story, it's been written up, and they went around picking up Jewish people and burying them. He says, I buried those people with the Klausenburger Rebbe over there. So they should have at least a Jewish kvura, a Jewish burial. And here he's sitting at the table with the person who the Rebbe asked to put up this separation, this fence, which he did. He became about the Teshuvah, and here he's sitting with the person who originally buried them. End of the story is, he wrote him a check for 25,000 pounds, or whatever the equivalent is in the country that he was at. The person gave him, even though it wasn't the time, he was giving out tzedakah, not just a check, but a large check, and the rest is history. Rabbi Sai, this is the story for the week. I think it needs no explanation. Have a great Shabbos. Enjoy the family. Make the best of the Shabbos. And l'chaim uvracha.